Ding dong. We didn't get the bell out today, so that's the best you're going to get. Welcome to the Sedro Woolley Rotary Club live meeting. The greatest Rotary Club in the, thank you. Andrew Jackson said, any man worth his salt will stick up for what he believes right, but it takes a slightly better man to acknowledge instantly and without reservation that he is in error. Today's invocation is Chris.
All right, let's take a moment to pause from all the hustle and bustle of our daily work lives and reflect on the following. When we infuse deep appreciation into our day, into the work of our hands and our hearts, we reconnect to our purpose, and we offer hope to those in our care. May the beauty of soul, the strength of spirit, the wellness of being lead you, inspire you, let you know your own beauty of soul, strength of spirit, and wholeness of being.
Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me in the four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Okay, the song, I guess
right.
Could defer to Chris again.
Yeah, pinch hitting a bit here, and I only know the words to 3 songs.
Hey, Chris, I got the song.
One is Gilligan's Island, and I tried that one before, and you guys were horrible at it. So in an effort to send a message to the owners and the NFL or the Players Association of Baseball, let's sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" and get our players back on the field. Take
Me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and crackers. It's the same. It's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Thank you. Okay. Do we have any visiting Rotarians today? Okay. Do we have any guests of Rotarians? Travis?
I have with me today my wonderful daughter, Ashlyn, who is a senior at the high school this year and also going to be wrapping up the Running Start program with an AA degree. So very, very proud of her. And I would love to say she's here just because she loves hanging out with Dad, but she's here in support of a friend of hers that's a student of the month we're going to hear about a bit later.
Okay. Thank you. Welcome, Ashlyn.
Yeah, finally in person, I've got Paul Wagner, and he is looking to join the club. So we'll try and get that stuff going through.
Welcome, Paul. Any other guests? Okay. On to announcements. First of all, I was handed a letter from the Sedro Woolley High School parent group, which says, on behalf of the parents of the Sedro Woolley High School class of 2022, we want to thank you for your generous donation of $2,000 to be used as scholarships for our grad night trip celebration. This makes it possible for students and families who are experiencing financial difficulties to still be able to attend. We are really excited to be able to make this overnight trip happen and to cap off their time with Sedro Woolley High School with great memories. For all your generosity, thank you. Jody Hulse, Terry Coker, Vicki Heisman, Stephanie Dykes, and the 2022 parent board. And so, you know, it really is a good cause. It keeps these kids out of trouble on nights, and it does give them great memories. So we're happy to do that. Thank you. With that, I'm going to call on our principal to introduce the students of the month.
Good afternoon. And normally we do our Students of the Month on the second Thursday, but I had asked Rich if we could do it when we're in person. This is so much of a better celebration to have for our students and parents. I also want to share once again what a delight it is to bring forth and present to you what we consider the best of the best at Sedro Woolley High School with our senior graduating class. And so I'd like to start with Nicole. Nicole Holst is the daughter of Keith and Jody Holst of Sedro Woolley. Nicole maintains a 3.8 GPA while being actively involved at our high school. She's a member of the National Honor Society for 3 years, treasurer for National Honor Society this school year. Nicole is a member of the book club 4 years in running, French club for 2 years, varsity and volunteerism for the past 4 years, and has also lettered as a varsity and volunteerism member. Shakespeare Club 4 years in running, and she's our current president since 2019. And she is also certified in Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Word expert. Nicole holds department awards for her general education classes, including math, English, science, and social studies. Outside of school, Nicole enjoys arts and crafts, especially creating prop pieces and costumes, reading, writing, traveling to Disney and Universal Studios, and playing video games. She loves making homemade cards to send to family and friends and sealing with homemade wax stamps. Nicole works at North Cascadia I in Mount Vernon, working in the office and doing clerical tasks and entering patient data. At this time, I am thrilled to have Nicole come forward and share with you where she plans to attend after graduation and also what degree she is interested in pursuing. Nicole, don't forget to introduce who's here with you today.
Here with me today, I have my mother, Jody, and my father, Keith. After I graduate high school, I plan to go to either Pensacola Christian College over in Florida or Western here in Washington. And I'm going to be getting a 4-year art degree where I hope to pursue prop design or set design for theater productions, TV, movies, and theme parks, and wherever else.
Nicole, I can't wait to see your name, like, you know, when the movie screen like pops up and you see Nicole Holst, right? Or like in a drama production on Broadway. So congratulations. Our next student of the month is Tyson Brown. Tyson Brown is the son of Mario and Jody Brown of Mount Vernon. Tyson maintains a 3.7 GPA while being actively involved in our high school, focusing mainly on athletics and excellence in his classrooms. Tyson has been on the varsity football team all 4 years at our high school, lettering 3 of those years. He was also honorable mention by the Skagit Valley Herald. He was also our varsity football captain for 2 years. Tyson has been a member of the track and field team for 3 years of our high school, and he strives to be the best athlete he can be and has taken so much pride in contributing to the teams on and off the field. Outside of school, Tyson enjoys spending time with family and friends, going hunting and fishing, working in his shop, and welding. When he's not doing any of that, you can usually find Tyson building something. He holds experience working for his dad's company, Brown & Sons, building houses, flat work, land development, and clearing properties. Tyson has been restoring a 1969 K10 pickup with his dad and loves the joy it brings while learning new things about trucks. At this time, I'd like to have Tyson come forward, share who's here with him today, and also where he plans on attending post-graduation.
Here with me today is my mom, Jody, my dad, Mario. After graduating high school, I plan on going to Central Washington University to study construction management and to hopefully own my own construction company.
So So Dad, is he taking over the company when he comes back after graduation? That's the hope. Okay, so if you need construction, contact Tyson. He'll be your person here. Thank you again. Congratulations, Tyson and Nicole, and we appreciate Sedro Woolley Rotary. Thank you.
Congratulations, Nicole and Tyson. Whole town is proud of you. The whole club is proud of you. So keep up the good work. At this time, I'm going to call on Becky, who's going to do anniversaries.
One is Chris Johnston, and his wife couldn't make it, but I want him to tell us a little bit about his Sparkin days.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Tina, my lovely bride is not here today, obviously. We will have 32 years in the books as of next week. We have 5 pretty good kids. Recently empty nesters, so they're off getting married and doing all those types of things. So we're just kind of waiting for the grandkids to start rolling in and trying to figure out what's the next phase of our life. And I think that's about it. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Unfortunately, Dan and his wife Sherry Hockett are not here today. So I have a rose if anybody wants to buy one. Gina, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Becky. And congratulations, Chris and Dan, who's not here, but congratulations. Some club business. First of all, I think you all received a email from Ruth about the dessert dash. Now, who has signed up to do a dessert for the auction? Okay, let's keep track of those, whoever does Sergeant at Arms. And so is there anybody else here who hasn't volunteered before the Sergeant at Arms comes on that would like to do a dessert for the auction? Okay. Who we got there? We got Travis, Carrie, Pat, Becky, Chief Wagner, Louis. Anyone else? Okay, well, that's a good start. So there, I think you're online, Ruth. So there's some more for you. I'll get you those names. Do you have anything you want to say about the auction, Tim?
So again, what makes the auction work is people going to the auction and donating things. So everybody get your donations in and we'll have a successful auction this year. And we need one. We haven't had a great big auction in several years, and we're going to have one this year. Absolutely. I have an answer for that.
The auction website is up, so feel free to hop online and go ahead and register. If you already know you're planning to attend, you can also purchase your tickets. So get on the website and register, please.
There you go.
Ruth is commenting for the people that are adding to the dessert dash, if you can use the survey that she emailed out, because that way she has all your information, what your dessert is. If you're donating more than one, you'll have to fill this survey out more than once. And we bring a couple $1,000 in for that. So hopefully there are things that people are going to want to bid on and dash for.
Actually, I think the last time we did it, we made almost $4,000. So it's well worth it. So
that's a big deal. And, you know, we'll just try to have some really great special desserts for everybody to bid on and make even more money. Thank you.
Okay. And I think, Tim, aren't we having an auction meeting a week from today on the 24th? 5:30, the library?
5:30 at the library. Come and see the new library and all if you haven't been in there yet, and we'll be there.
You get a makeup for missing a meeting. good social camaraderie with some of the other members. So please try to make it. Is that going to be on Zoom too? I have to check my schedule. Okay, we'll let you know next week whether it's going to be on Zoom. Is there any other announcements? I think Travis, you had something you wanted to say.
I wanted to thank everyone. We sent out a survey about club engagement, and first thing I'll say is this looks great, seeing everybody here. So that's a good start. We had over 50 responses to that survey, which was really fantastic, and we're kind of tabulating all the results, and we'll be taking some action on them. We actually have a retention committee meeting today. If anybody wants to participate, it's 2 o'clock to 3:30 at the Woolley Market.
And when I put out my email and said I'd like to have 50 people here, we came pretty darn close. I think we have somewhere in the neighborhood of about 35 here, and I noticed there's a bunch online, so we may have made it. So I think that's it's a good step in getting back to normal. So let's all try to make the meeting. Any other announcements out there?
So I won't be able to make the auction meeting on Thursday, so if anybody else that can go and run a Zoom, Travis, I don't know if you're available, but that would be the easiest because everybody knows your link.
Did Danny, did you raise your hand?
Okay.
Okay, so let's try to get as many people at the meeting as we can, and so we can make it successful. We haven't had a live auction for 2 years now, so let's make this the biggest and best ever. Remember, it's our 50th. With that, I would say we'd spin the wheel of fortune, but we don't have any, we didn't get things, it didn't get set up. So, kind of trying to get back into the normal mode, and kind of fell down there. So we'll go from there. We'll go to Sergeant at Arms, and I guess Chris is going to inherit that too.
Yeah, I'll just pinch it on everything today. So let me see here. We didn't have our will, so we got to get a little extra dollars here. Let me have my Coug friends, David and Stephen. Can you help collect? All right. So let's see here. Who was in the paper in the last year? Who had your name in the paper in the last year? David did. Was your picture in the paper? All right. Who else? Oh, Miriam. Yeah, you were in there, right? Right? Did you got? Okay, that's $2 for the picture. Oh, see, you don't have to do that. Chad, you were in there. Oh, Becky, what were you there for? Oh, Becky was a realtor award. So, yes. Oh, police blotter counts. So if you're on the police blotter, that's $1. Okay. Oh, he's got absolution. Okay. This last weekend was the Super Bowl. Remember, honesty here. Who was pulling for the Bengals? That's $1. Who was pulling for the Rams? $2. You can't pull for the in-house division team. All right. All right. Now, let's pick on this table. Looks like they're smart. Who was the Super Bowl MVP? Very good. Where did he go to college? Where did he go to high school? Yes. Which one? You want to save him? Oh, come on. You're so close. Davis. All right. So that's $1. Okay. I really don't want to pick on Carl. Don't pick on Carl. Was he ready? All right, so by popular standards, what is the most stolen item from a grocery store? Condoms, liquor, no, none of the above. Cheese. Cheese. Well, that's $1 from this group. All right. All right. Who brought in a new member into the club in the last year? Nobody in this room brought a new member into the club in the last year? I think $1 for all of you. And for those who didn't sign up for the dessert dash or who haven't signed up for it or plan to sign up for it, $1 for you too. There you go.
Happy Bucks.
Oh, happy bucks. Sorry.
Chris, I've got 100 Happy Bucks. On Valentine's Day, my oldest son, had a little baby boy, 7 pounds, 8 ounces. So, or he didn't have the baby.
What's the name of the baby?
Sorry,
What's the boy's name?
Roman.
Roman. Okay, I have a happy 40. First for Tyson and Nicole, congratulations. And also we have our senior parent group president here. Rich, this is Jody. And we also have Travis who's helping the Heisman family. So grateful for the work that they're doing to support our seniors. And for the first time ever, at least since I've been at Sedro Woolley High School, we have Peter Pusateri, who's gonna swim for us at 2A State, swim and dive, starting tomorrow. And he is seated 12th in the 50 free and 4th in the 100 breast. And so that's tomorrow. So I'll keep you guys posted. We're so excited to have him represent Sedro Woolley High School. And we have 6 boy wrestlers, as well as Maddie Berry, our single girls wrestler. So we've got many athletes traveling to state this weekend, and we're just really excited for our Cubs. So thank you.
So I've got some happy bucks here. I don't know if Mario would admit this or not, but he started his illustrious high school career at Sedro Woolley High School, or not, at Concrete High School, right? And you were there freshman and sophomore year, right? I taught him how to type, and I coached him in football. So I'm going to take some credit for you, Tyson, just a little bit, okay? Just a little bit, but congratulations. It's good to see you, Mario.
I've got a happy 20 here for several things. I'm going to take some credit there too, since Mario came to the Sedro Woolley High School when my first year there too. So I graduated and I was an assistant principal. He was never in my office though for discipline, right? Okay. Second one, happy ducks for another happy dollars for the students of the month. And I got into a Super Bowl pool, first time ever won. So that was a good thing. And the levy passed, so happy 20 for that.
So I've got 61 happy bucks. Was able to celebrate my 61st birthday this weekend. Chad was gracious enough to open up an invitation to the hockey suite at the Silvertips game. And so my family and I went down and we had a really nice time.
So I've got a happy $5, and Chris Johnston's involved in this. So I started playing for weddings when I was 15 in 1974. You can do the math on that. But one of the weddings that I played for was Chris Johnston's wedding at Sacred Heart Catholic Church in LaConner, Washington. And the reason I remember it is because it was one of the most stressful weddings I ever played for. And here's why. I'll tell you why. So the recessional song, when the bride and groom leave the church, the first time we did it was the actual wedding itself, because it was a surprise for the bride's mom and dad. So I had no idea how it was going to go. And it went great because you're still married, right? There you go. So happy anniversary to you and Tina. It just makes me feel really, really old today. So there you go. Thank you, David.
I got 20 happy bucks, and I'm just really happy that we're back doing this. And you know, David, you are a lot older than me. 6 months. 6 months.
Well, I only have a couple of happy bucks. One's for me and
I
one's
don't
for
know.
my wife
I gotta get
Joanne.
back to court.
Josh and Amy, my son and daughter-in-law, decided to take a mini vacation, and they left Mason Requay with Joanne and I to take care of him. And he's a freshman at the high school. And I'm learning all over again what it's like to have to get what you think would be an athlete out of bed to get him to school on time, but I managed to do it.
Thanks, Chris. I'm happy. I was able to go up to Canada in the last couple of weeks, two weekends ago, and got to see our daughter, Dasha, get married finally. She's been working real hard on that, and COVID has made it really difficult to get married with a cross-border thing going on. And so she's married and happy, and we are too.
Okay, thank you. At this time, can I have, I was going to have this a little sooner. Mike Moser, would you come forward, please? Come on. Okay. I got this package from Rotary, and I didn't know what it was, and I opened it up, and it's another Paul Harris blue stone lapel pin for Mike for all his good work. So congratulations. Thank you. And with that, I think we can move on to our program, who I believe is online. And I don't know if Carl is online too.
I am online, Rich. Hello. Yes, shall I introduce our speaker?
Hang on a second.
All right.
And if there are early leavers, now is the time. Congratulations, Mario and Nicole, or Tyson, I'm sorry. Carl, try again.
All right. I would like to introduce our speaker this afternoon.
Try again, Carl.
Okay. Can you hear me now? I'm on unmute. Can you hear me now? 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me?
Not doing anything.
Oh, bummer. Can you hear me? 1 2. I'll keep talking. 1 2 1 2 3. 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. 1 2 1 2 3. Can you hear me now? I am not muted. Hello. 1 2 1 2 3. So Ruth can hear me. Folks on Zoom can hear me, but not folks in the audience. All right. So the joys of hybrid. 1 2 1 2 3. Hello, Cleveland. Hello. 1 2 1 2 3. 4 score and years ago, our forefathers set upon it. Hello. 1 2 1 2 3. 1 2. Yes. Well, Phil, how are you?
Good. I'm planning to do my presentation with charades.
Yes, excellent. Because this will be difficult if they can't hear me, they can't hear you.
It is true.
Yeah, so that'll be a technological hurdle. Yeah.
Well, we can watch the screen and see what happens.
That's right. That's right. Maybe we could, get 2 ferns between us and do it that way.
That'd be perfectly comical.
Yes. Yeah, I think Eric is working hard on on trying to make that happen. All right, the Jeopardy thing. Exactly. But that's all right. 1 2 1 2 3. I just feel all these Spinal Tap references coming to mind. So
yes, Turn it up to 11, please.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Why is it only Stonehenge only this tall?
We can hear you now, so.
Okay, great. We'll stop the banter and move on to the business. I'd like to welcome and introduce my friend, Philip Tavel. Juris Doctorate is currently an administrative law judge with the Washington State Office of Administrative Hearings, known as OAH, and is working primarily on caseloads of appeals from Employment Security Department's claims. Philip also worked directly for the Employment Security Department before joining the OAH in May of 2021. Philip spent 16 years, that's sweet 16 years, as a public defender in King County before his work as an administrative law judge, and also served as a pro tem judge in King County District Court. Philip has worked for 3 years with a criminal defense firm in Bellingham, practiced extensively during that time in Snohomish, Whatcom, and here in Skagit County. Philip's other careers before the law included teaching physics and developing video games whilst living, I believe, in Melbourne, Australia. So a little international business flavor there. So please welcome my friend, Philip Tavel.
Carl, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's nice to virtually appear in Sedro Woolley. I'm also a member of the Rotary Club in West Seattle, and actually also attended the Rotary Club in Melbourne, Australia while I was there. So that was fun. And drinking my coffee with my Snohomish police mug today, just for the occasion. But so as Carl stated, I am currently an administrative law judge with the Office of Administrative Hearings, and I hear appeals on unemployment claims. The nice thing is actually right before the COVID lockdown, the Office of Administrative Hearings went to virtual telephonic hearings. So I have a glorious 18-inch commute to my job every morning, which works well for me. And so give you all a little bit of an idea of what happens with unemployment, because I'll tell you, it is definitely an area where I think a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions on what goes on. So it was funny, I actually worked for 6 months directly for the Employment Security Department during 2020, and in which I found out that as dysfunctional as you think giant government entities can be, until you are on the inside, you don't find out that they can be even more dysfunctional. And so as I learned working there for 6 months, they had a huge backlog while I was there, and they were trying to get through it. But the focus was supposed to be on customer service, but it was interesting. And so now that I am on the other side, getting to listen to appeals from people, from employees and employers who do not believe that the denial or the approval of benefits was appropriate. When I hear some of the stories of what these poor people go through, having their, claims take forever and trying to reach people at the department just to talk to a person, the number of people that I've heard who have spent, 3 hours on hold just to get dropped and then sit there staring at their phone with nothing. It's quite tragic. But what I will say is, it is a difficult process. So right now, in fact, the Office of Administrative Hearings, we are facing a backlog of 40,000 cases. And in fact, since May, when I started working there, they've hired another 30 administrative law judges. And I think we're actually over 200 now, just handling the Employment Security Department caseload. We typically hear now 34 cases a week. Which is interesting because you've got to prepare for them, you've got to hold the hearing, then you've got to write the orders. And in fact, they are continuing to up our caseload to try to get into the backlog. And sadly, even though each month we set a new record for cases cleared, we also set a new record for new cases coming in. So one of the things I wanted to say was, if anybody here ever knows someone or yourself ends up applying for benefits, and you receive this determination letter in the mail that very ominously says to you, we have reduced or denied your benefits between these particular dates. And because of this reduction or denial of benefits, you now owe us $25,000 and you're going to have to pay us. And I speak to a lot of people every day who are just filled with anxiety and stress over these letters. I know I've spoken to several of my fellow judges about the fact that really the Employment Security Department should rewrite those letters. And we figured it should be something more along the lines of, hello, our computer system has possibly determined that there may be an issue with your claim that might involve the dates we've written down below, but it could be completely different. And because of that, there's a small chance that you may owe us a tremendous amount of money that will cause you stress, but in actuality, you may not owe us anything at all. And after 10 minutes of a hearing with a judge, it'll go away. So don't stress out yet, just hang on and wait until you meet with a judge. And we kind of wish they would say that because that is a little bit more accurate. I know for me, we certainly get a lot of people mentioning the fact that the state of Washington gave several $100 million away to scammers in Nigeria during the pandemic, which of course causes consternation for lots of people. But what I will say is the Office of Administrative Hearings actually does a really good job getting through these cases, listening to people. The judges are incredibly experienced. They're very caring people. And what's nice is the focus is meant on putting people at ease, making them feel that they've had an access to justice and that their constitutional rights, specifically related to due process, are upheld and protected. And I take that very seriously every day, that when I get someone in front of me, I want them to make sure that they're having their opportunity to be heard. So one of the things I did want to talk about today is letting people know that before you get to having a problem with the Employment Security Department, there are some things that can help you out. For example, if you're an employee or you have an employee or you're leaving a job, you may think that you were fired or you did quit. However, that's only your opinion. And that's one thing that gets determined once you come in front of a judge. That my job, especially because most of the cases that I do get are whether or not someone quit. And if they did quit, did they quit for a good cause? Or if they were fired, were they reasonably fired for misconduct? So starting off with the employee side. So if you're someone who had to quit a job for some reason and file for benefits, what I will tell you now is if a friend at work or the manager or even someone in HR or even possibly someone in your union says, oh yes, file for benefits, you will definitely get them because you're eligible. Don't listen to them. As I learned when I was a public defender for a long time, if the person in the cell next to you tells you, oh, no, you shouldn't be in here for that, my case got dismissed already, they're in jail with you, and that's not true. So don't listen to the person in the cell next to you, and the person who does not work for the Employment Security Department should not be the one telling you whether or not you qualify for benefits or are eligible. So the important thing to know is that there actually are 12 good cause reasons for quitting a job. For example, if you have what's called a bona fide job offer for another job, you can quit the job you currently have for that job. However, it means that you had to have, before you quit the job, you had to have gotten a definitive offer from someone at a company that actually has authority to make the job offer. It's for a set amount of money for a set period or a set time in terms of your hours, and also what your job responsibilities are. And one of the most important things is that you work at that job, the one you're leaving, you work at it up until the last possible moment. So for example, if you want to be eligible for unemployment benefits for taking a new job, You can't then leave your old job a month early because you want to tie up some loose ends and maybe you've got to move and maybe you're taking a class or something. No, that will disqualify you very quickly. The fact is you must work up until the last possible moment, because what you're doing is you are taking money from the public coffers to cover the fact that you might end up unemployed. And the key is, were you unemployed through no fault of your own? And so if you choose to take, like I had a case with a woman who decided to take 4 months off because she just, really wanted to unwind and figure things out before she started a new job. And that's wonderful. However, the state is then not responsible for paying for your 4 months of vacation before you start your new job. So there are other things like if a person in your family has a serious medical condition and you've got to care for them, that is a good cause reason. However, one thing you have to do is you have to make sure you speak to your employer to find out if there's any way to preserve your job. So take a leave of absence, change your hours, whatever it is. The important thing is that you communicate with your employer and you make sure that if there's no other choice but to quit, then that was the last possible thing. And so with a lot of these good cause reasons for quitting, it's really, you've got to communicate with your employer, you have to be honest, and you have to realize that this is not your opportunity for free money. This is your opportunity to be protected by a system that's really rather amazing when you think about it, but you're not supposed to take advantage of it. And so, unfortunately, during the pandemic, there has been all of this federal money that has been thrown into the process. And so I frequently get appellants who say, well, everybody around me at work, they were getting thousands of dollars and they didn't do anything. And it was for months and months. And why shouldn't I get that? Once again, think back to don't listen to the person in the cell next to you. They might not be right. So the other people at your job may be telling you what happened, but don't trust what they did. Focus on what you're doing. So then moving on to the employers. So for any of you that own a business and have had these hearings where you have to come on, or someone's benefits have been approved, which affects your rating with the state or takes money that you've paid in and gives to an employee, you can fire someone. And it's your right to fire someone for, just about anything, but it has to be misconduct in order for the state to then deny the benefits and for you as an employer not to be charged. So what that means is, if you have policies in place regarding tardiness or absences or, things that will affect your business reputation, you need to make sure that you go over those with new employees, that they understand what's expected. Specifically, tardiness and absences are two of the most common reasons for misconduct. And you have to have a policy that at least gives them an opportunity for 2 warnings. They need to be in writing, and you need to be able to demonstrate that you gave those warnings, not that it was over coffee or you mentioned to them, hey, if you come in late again, you're done. That's not quite enough for the hearing. But if you do document it, and if you are careful about it, then that is misconduct. So if you have an employee that just never shows up on time and you give them chance after chance, you can fire them and they will not be qualified for getting unemployment benefits because they were fired for actual misconduct. For example, I had an interesting case a few days ago where a guy was a delivery truck driver and he had passed a background check and all things were good, until the federal marshal showed up to arrest him for a vast number of really nasty crimes. He tried to have his appeal hearing stating that he was not fired for misconduct. But yes, in fact, if you commit felonies and that's something that's going to reflect badly on your employer, they have the right to fire you for misconduct. So with an employee, you're looking at quitting for good cause. And with an employer, you're looking to fire someone for genuine misconduct. Because I know I end up writing a lot of decisions where I say, the employer was well within their rights to let this employee go. However, it doesn't rise to the level that will prevent this person from collecting unemployment benefits from the state. And so again, a lot of it really is about what's reasonable. Did a person lose their job through no fault of their own? Or was someone fired because they did something really badly? And those things are the times at which, you know, you either do or don't get benefits, and it can be appropriate. But I would always suggest, if you wonder about any of it, there is a handbook for people applying for employment benefits. And that is a very important book to read. And in fact, when we write out our decisions, we will say that the person did or didn't read that handbook, because frequently, shockingly, if all else fails, read the instructions. It will actually let you know what's the appropriate thing to do. The other thing is, for anybody that knows, because if you happen to know someone that gets into an issue with their benefits, there's an amazing group called the Unemployment Law Project, ULP, and they will represent people for free in these cases. And actually, there is a new law firm opening up. A person who's leaving the Office of Administrative Hearings as a judge in my position is starting up the Washington Employment Benefits Advocates. And they will represent people in these cases, because the truth is the rules are actually fairly simple, and it is pretty straightforward how to follow them properly. But not that any of us would be shocked. Most people do not follow those rules properly, which is why we have 40,000 cases in a backlog waiting for us to get to them. And some of them are reasonable. I mean, I have cases that really do offer questions. Was someone out of the country? Was someone filing properly? Did they attempt to backdate their claims inappropriately? And I have ones where people are, you know, they're being assessed an overpayment of $30,000 or more, and that's crushing. However, where our system does fail is where I spend an hour and a half working on a case where it's $1.35 in question, and I just don't see how we really spent that money effectively. But that's for another day, and that's for the Office of Administrative Hearings to work it out with the Employment Security Department. So let's see. I think that's a pretty good overview of, you know, most of what I do. But I can imagine that there may be people who have some questions about things on either side. So at this point, let me open up the floor to people who might have a question about this stuff.
Does anyone have questions?
Or not? Oh, yes, you could definitely email me questions. And in fact, so my email is quite simple. If I put it in the chat, does everybody, will it pop up there? Or, so I will put it into the chat right now to everybody. Hang on a second. And just so for people there, so it's just ptavel, so PTAVEL @gmail.com. It's good because Tavel rhymes with gavel. I ran for King County District Court Judge years ago under the give the gavel to Tavel. And I thought that was a little too irreverent, but I was told by the political people, no, that's good. They'll remember it.
Thank you. It's a very interesting program, and people may have questions, and I have our world famous Rotary pin for you, and I will get it to Carl, who can get it to you. But thank you for being here today and giving us this fascinating program. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you all for being part of Rotary. Service above self is important.
And with that, if people can help, I think Chris may be the only one here from, and he may have left from Team February. If we could get some help cleaning up, picking up and putting away the tables, that would be appreciated.